We're going to go ahead and face the east. We're going to give all honor and glory and praise unto
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash.
Double honor to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, to the Bible the house of David. This is Men of Valor, Las Vegas camp, coming to you through the will and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds whose father's line goes back. You are the true children of Israel that the Bible speaks of. Salvation belongeth unto you and you alone. All right? And first and foremost, the elect of the nation of Israel, 144,000 elect men, the governing body, all right? Under Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, all right? King David, the 12, all right? Then the multitude of the men, women, and children who believe upon the testimony, all right? But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into these scriptures, Lord willing, to be edifying, uplifting unto the body.
It's Ecclesiastes. I said it right? 3:16, it says, "And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there."
Right, that place of judgment as we are under the sun. All right, this is the place of judgment for everybody. But, those who are under the law especially. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds whose father's line goes back. All right, the law, statutes, and commandments were given to you. All right, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai said, the world was made for our sake. All right, so this world was made, for the betterment of the nation of Israel, as well as for the chastisement for the nation of Israel. All right, and everything in between, is just playing a part in what Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai wants us to have. He wants us to have dominion, rulership, all right? The ability to govern, all right? The ability to have children, love. That's why Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai made us judges, all right? We are the judges of the earth, okay? The nation of Israel, under Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, okay? So we are to follow after Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and no other. But first and foremost, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh sent his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, to walk the path, to lead the way. All right, in righteousness, he did it. All right, for the ability to make us to be as him, as Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai says in the book of Genesis. All right, man has now become like us. All right, knowing good and evil, to be a judge. All right, that first Adam that was made, he was made of the earth for a reason. All right. He was made of the earth so that we could walk through the earth and walk this path as Yahweh being Yahweh Shai too. All right, and if you can receive it, Yahweh Shai being the first Adam. Okay?
It says, "And the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there."
Right, in the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. All right, not obeying the law, statutes, and commandments goes back to what? Iniquity. Goes back to sin. Goes back to really not understanding and not knowing. All right? Because if you don't know something and you don't understand it, therefore, how can you do what is right by it? All right? The experience is here. All right? This is in essence a grounds of experience for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds whose father's line goes back. This experience was yet for you first and foremost. All right? That's why you are to lead. All right? And the other nations have to follow suit. As we follow Yahweh Shai, the other nations will follow us. Right? And being a part of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, we are made in his standard. So that's why the scripture says, "Be ye perfect as I am perfect." It is only the nation of Israel who will receive perfection in that day. That Yahweh Shai comes to deliver. That Yahweh Shai comes to deliver his saints. All right, through the will of Yahweh. Okay.
It says, 17, "And I said in my heart, the Most High shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work."
Right, for the righteous and the wicked. All right, for every purpose and every work. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai has ordained and manifest this life. All right, that we are living. When we go off, we go off to learn the lesson that Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai wants us to learn because he's teaching. All right, when we do righteous, we understand the reward that was given unto us by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right? Hey, so we can obtain Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to get closer and bring our spirits back closer to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, to walk after his way, to do his will. All right? There is a nation that has to do his will, and the will of no other. It is only the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right? Yep.
I apologize to my brother already.
That's all good. It's all good. Hey, all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right?
This is Psalms 18 and 20. It says, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua reward me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands, with hands as he recompense me. For I have kept the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and have not weakly departed from my own power. For all his judgments were before me, and I did not put away his statutes from me. I was also upright before him, and kept myself from my iniquity.
Hey, because these are the Psalms of David. All right? Hey, we strive for the perfection. All right? Now, read that again.
Back Psalms 18 and 21. For I have kept the ways of Yahweh Yahushua, and have not weakly departed from my power.
Right, because Yahweh Yahushua says, hey, this is the way, walk ye in it. All right? Keeping the ways of Yahweh Yahushua is clinging unto righteousness. Walking clinging unto righteousness and clinging unto truth. All right? Hey, because where there's the truth, there is no lie. There can't be a lie if the truth is there. All right? That is righteousness. It is something that you should meditate on. It is something that you should seek. All right? Yahweh Yahushua gives us the win. We already have the win if we be those men. If you be those men, women, and children listening and learning. So the prophets start with our head apostle, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakah, Apostle Ramla, the elders and the bishops, all the way to the newest brother teaching sound 100% doctrine coming out of GMS. All right? Because that's where the truth comes from. All right? Not these wayward doctrine camps. All right? Hey, giving you an Israelite with a little Christianity twist. Okay? Yeah. It doesn't matter the group, whatever group name it is, if it's not following after the way of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the 100% testimony, it is nothing but an abomination and a lie.
For all his judgments were before me, and I did not put away his statutes from me.
Right, don't put away Yahweh Shem Yahushua's law, statutes, and commandments. All right, this is the way that you should govern thereby. Yahweh Shem Yahushua said in the book of Matthew, chapter 3, hey, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word. What word? The word of the scriptures. The living word that Yahweh spoke, because he is the living word. Yeah. All right?
His commandments.
His commandments.
That's why, you know, in, well, going to Matthew's, the 28th chapter, you know, he commanded, that was a commandment that what he gave the disciples,
yep.
You know, to go spread the gospel to the ends of the world. You know, when he, when the scribes and Pharisees was, you know, I can't remember which one specifically, but when they was asking him, you know, and he told them that, you know, love thy neighbor, you know, keep these three. Yeah. You know, that was a commandment. It's in the Gospels. I think, but was he still reading on that? I had a pre. This is Psalm 22 and 30. It says, "A seed shall serve him; it shall be accounted to the Lord for a generation. They shall come and shall declare his righteousness unto a people that shall be born, that he hath done this." You know, and that seed, you know, that can only worship Yahweh Shai the way that it is intended is Israel. All right, and we're back in, you know, the times of coming back into remembrance, you know, and recorrecting, you know, the wrongs you know, and pushing forth righteousness, so we'll be found acceptable when the Lord comes back.
Hey, now what would somebody say? Hey, how'd you get see out of that? Because Yahweh Shem Yahushua said, hey, my nation is scattered as Israel scattered as the sand of the sea. All right. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua, hey, is giving clear indication that these scriptures have always been about Israel. All right. It's never been about another. Another is Yahweh Shem Yahushua has had no other lover than the nation of Israel.
It's technically Israel history.
Right.
It's actually Israel history.
Right. This is past, present, and future. All right. This is the past history, but this is also for the future. All right. Hey, in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, it is past and present. It's still now. All right.
I think that's Ezra. You know, in the book of Ezra, it says that it's a book of records.
Yeah.
You know, you can actually find that real quick. It might be. But y'all get it while I look for it.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 21. It says, to them that are without law, as without law, being not without law of the Most High, but under the law of Hamashiach, that I might gain them that are without law. Verse 2.
Right. To gain those that were outlawed without the law, are talking about the Israelites, who turned from the way. All right. Turn from the way of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right? Those who are Gentile foreigners. All right? Hey, living after the way, you grew up in the way of the so-called Hindu man. All right? The so-called Chinese man, you worship their false idols. You're Muslim. Hey, you're out here praising Jesus. All right? Hey, because you knew no better. Okay, so Yahweh Shem Yahushua says, I'm going after those that don't have the law to obtain the law. All right, so that they can know better. Read that from the top again.
1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 21. It says, to them that are without law, as without law, being not without law to the Most High, but under the law of to Hamashiach, that I might gain them that are without law.
Right, gain them without law. All right, because we didn't know the law, statutes, and commandments were written to a particular people. A particular people. All right, here it is. The world taught us they were written to everybody. Yet the world doesn't abide by them themselves. Okay, how much more when you find out that the law, statutes, and commandments were written for you? That it is you and your forefathers. All right. It is you and your forefathers that have to obey the laws, statutes, and commandments because they were only given unto you. They weren't given to anybody else. That you are the standard of what a man is truly supposed to be. That you are the standard of what a woman is truly supposed to be. That you are to follow and obey your parents when you were young men, young women, all right, boys and girls. That you do it better than anybody else. See, Yahweh Shem Yahushua made his nation perfect. Perfect to be the example, all the way from pre-birth, all the way until in this captivity death. All right, we are supposed to be seeking after righteousness and perfection, even though we won't receive it right now.
You didn't say we're holy, particular people. So holy, you gotta be separate. We are separate.
Right, and this was all what? To learn a lesson. All right, so that we can be judges, so we can know good and evil, all right, and be a righteous judge of those that are under our rule in a time to come. Because in times past, it said what? In times past, the people, when Israel was in rule, the people rejoiced. All right? But the people are not in rule. The people of the book are not in rule, so the people are mourning. So how much more? How much more when righteousness returns to the earth? How much more when Yahweh Shem Yahushua gives the law, statutes, and commandments and turns the stony heart to a flesh one? When all his nation is correct, just, and true. All right? We got you.
1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 22. It says, to the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. And I am made all things.
Read that from the top again, and then Paul at the break right there, right? Paul's at the
1 Corinthians 9 and 22. To the weak became I as weak.
to the weak, all right? To the normal earthly man, all right? The weak. Because you have no strength, Jake. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds whose father's line goes back. You have no strength. You can't do anything without Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. As the weak, Yahweh sent Yahushai here, hey, for what? As the first Adam to do what? To come as the weak. To come as a man. To come as a man so that you could receive. You can receive that he himself had to walk as a man so you could get it. These parables aren't here for you to look over. All right? These examples, all right, of the of Yahushai and the apostles, all right, going through these situations were not just for a good read. It was for a learning process so you could understand. So now you have what? Documentation. What? A record. As the brother said earlier, you holding that? The record?
I dropped it. I dropped it because.
But as the record that the brother stated earlier, because this is the book of the records that we are to receive that just account.
Yeah, but you know, and that's in Numbers too. You know, Numbers 1 and 18. And then you know you got the Chronicles. You know where it goes through the lineage.
Yep.
Hey, as long as you know, as well as with Matthew, the first chapter, where it goes through the lineage of Yahushai.
1 Corinthians 9 and 22. It says, to the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some.
Right. He's made all things to all men so he could save some. Just a few. All right, just a portion. He didn't say, he said he became all things to all men, but that he could save some. So,
Verse 23.
few, the proud, and the brave. All right? Those of his elect. Because those are the few, the proud, and the brave. Those are the ones who are going to stand for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's name in the day of adversity. Right. 7,000 that haven't bowed the knee to Baal. All right? So that you can understand that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai always leaves the remnant. He always has, he has his first plan, which is his first plan. And his first plan is so good, you think it's a backup plan. But it's still just the first plan. It's still the first. He only needed one. That's why the Most High only sent his only begotten Son. He sent one to do it all. And now that you receive this one, you can get it too. You only got one shot. All right? It is for you, Israel. It's his nation. All right? He said, I will put the stick in my hands and make them one. This is one nation. All right? One nation that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds whose father's line goes back. You have an opportunity. You have the ability. All right? If you cling unto the word.
I mean, this is time, you know, because Amos 8 and 11 is getting closer to going to effect. So when are you going to do then? Mercy doors is open, man.
1 Corinthians 9 and 23. And it says, in this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you.
Right. He does it for the gospel's sake, the good news that he can partake with them. Yahushua is waiting to drink wine. Lord willing, we're those men that are going to drink it with him. We're waiting on the toast. We're waiting on the toast. We're praying to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that we have, and we are sufficient, we have what's sufficient to make it through by his will. It is only by his will that we can make it through. You can't make yourself of the elect, and you can't make yourself of not of the elect. All right? But we are fighting to be a part of the elect, the hopeful elect, working out our own salvation with fear and trembling. Understand that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has to choose you. All right? You can't choose him. He has to choose you. All right? How many people call on the name of Jesus? All right? And think that they're saved.
Damn near the whole fucking world wants to say that.
All right? How many?
Through the vibrations and the movements.
Look,
You hear that name in every fucking everywhere, man.
how many you degenerate fucking people, you so-called wannabe brothers, all right? Hey, talk about Yahweh Shem Shai, but yet don't understand Yahweh Shem Shai. Trying to save every Israelite. It's not gonna happen, nigga. It's not.
But they trying to play outside that fucking.
Yeah, because they are niggars. You think that everybody can be saved. Yahweh Shem Shai didn't call everybody. He didn't call all of his nation to come. How much more the other nations?
I think when you see the first Noah, he only saved 8 souls at that time, and out a few.
Oh, but that was back then.
That was back then.
That was back then. That
don't
doesn't
count?
concern now.
That don't count?
No, it don't count. That doesn't concern now. See, God loves everybody. John 3:16.
He does love it.
All right?
We'll find out who's done.
All right?
I just wanted to pull this with the brother quoted about, lost that commandments, right? Psalms 147 and 19. He showeth his words unto Jacob, his statutes and judgments to Israel.
All right?
That's it. That's all, folks. Not world. And if it is the world, it'd be the world of Israel. That's it.
Yep. Same is no different from having, the world of Disney, the sports world. All right? Yahweh Shem Shai always made sure that he gave you everything so you have the understanding. Now, he didn't say that it's all together and I'm just going to put it right in front of your face and you don't have to seek. He said, seek and you shall find. All right? He said, study to show thyself approved. So when you're studying, you're seeking, hey, some things are going to start to stand out. Some things are going to start making some sense. If it doesn't make sense, that means either you don't have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, all right, and you're not looking hard enough. You're not looking hard enough. You took it for face value, and essentially, that's Yahweh Shem Shai still blocking you from having eyes to see and ears to hear.
That's the problem with Jake nowadays. Jake don't want to read. Because reading is fundamental. That's how you learn.
Right? Hey, Jake ain't even got to read right now. If Jake ain't even got to read, he could have the fucking book read to him.
Yeah.
He could have the book read to him, look at a lesson, match it up, and say, oh, that makes sense. He could just believe on faith. But Jake, that faith is too high for a fucking imbecile. All right?
I'm going to continue right here. Verse 20 says, he hath not dwelt so with any nation.
Right. He hasn't dwelt so with any nation. So how could all people be saved? How could all nations be saved? You all saved in the eyes of the Lord. No.
They don't say it in the eyes of Jesus
Christ.
That's what they're talking about.
All right?
Now you know what's in that God.
Hey. Yahweh Shem Shai says, I pray not for the world, but for those that thou hast given me. So if he didn't pray for the world,
What
then
are y'all talking about?
then what? The Bible's contradicting itself. He said in John 3:16, for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son.
But then you gotta go to Matthew 1:21 to find out.
But
But they look past that.
but it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't matter.
But Romans, all right, Romans told you who you came for. Matthew told you who you came for.
No, that's not it. It's still John 3:16.
Oh no, man. Why? Because you're reading without understanding. All right. You're not clinging on to sound doctrine that Yahweh Shem Shai has out here. He said, I raised the prophets. All right? The prophets have been since the beginning. Have been since the beginning, so you can understand this word. All right? What is it, Luke 1 and 7?
Yep, here it is. It's Luke 1:7. He says, as he spoke by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been seen the world began.
Right? Has been since the world began. All right? No doing away. When the world began, the prophets were here. The prophets are always here. Now it's a matter of have the prophets been activated or not. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai always kept a remnant of the word flowing. You see, it's part of that, what is it called? Preservation. All right? This preservation of the scriptures, these parables. All right? The word was preserved through parables. Because if the word just told you plainly exactly how it was, this book wouldn't be here. It wouldn't be the bestseller for the last, I don't know, forever. All right? Since the gospel became in print, it has been the #1 selling book forever. All right? Hey, you have heathen nations picking up the scriptures, picking up the Holy Bible. Either what? To try to debunk it, to try to study it, all right? Or, hey, something reached out unto them because they are a speckled bird, all right? To try to get the true meaning. Remember, Israel scattered as the sand of the sea. It's not about your appearance, all right? It's about your bloodline.
But the hottest thing right now is the ginger. The ginger, the Irish finding out they're part of Judah. And now all these redheads is, I'm black? I'm a black man. I knew it the whole time. I go to the cookouts, they invite me everywhere. I'm one of them now. Speckled bird. But let's not get it twisted, Esau. Not all you redheads is Jake, man. But don't try to ease in.
Hey, not all you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians are Jake either. All right? Not all of you who look like the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and Seminole Indian, all right, are a speckled bird. All right? You're a wheat in the tares.
Shit.
All right? Your father goes back to a heathen nation, mostly Esau, Edom. Okay? Why? Because his blessing was what? Hey, the sword. And what does he love to do with the sword?
No, a tear is a socket. A tear goes to Esau.
Yeah.
That's a chocolate covered. Well, you said the other nations.
Well, I'm saying there's other nations mixed in who did the same thing.
Yeah, but specifically a tear goes back to. Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said that before, and then I was talking about other
Okay.
nations. But,
I was just clarifying.
yeah, no. I'm not yelling. I'm not yelling.
I thought you said other and the other nation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, just the water, for clarification, as the brother said, hey, the tear is Esau, Edom, amongst the nation of Israel.
Right.
All right, amongst the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians. All right? God. And then those other nations have done the same thing.
That looks like it.
It looked like it.
Right.
They yet infiltrated. All right, and you see that a lot happening in Africa right now. All right, hey, where the Chinese are marrying African women. All right, so their children can build loyalty. All right, to China. All right.
Yeah. And you know, that goes into how these other nations made bed with it talk about that in the book of Daniel. They made bed with these elites, you know. They talk about that in the second chapter. They mingled their seed, you know, to get that you know, seat of authority or power, you know. So hey, some of these, you know, some of these countries, officials and stuff like that, they go back to Esau, you know.
Hey, as Yahweh Shem Yahushai said, hey, there's nothing new under the sun. All right? Nothing new under the sun. They still run the same plays that they did in times past. Time after time, they keep on playing it.
And that's why, you know, really, you know, during slavery, you had Esau, you know, sleeping with the women of Jake.
If you're my property and I do what I want, right? But at the same time, it causes separation.
Yeah.
Hey, you have a field and a house, ninja, all right? But then you have an outside Mandingo warrior. All right? Yeah, we got it, Josh. We got that break.
This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 24. And it says, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. 25. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way.
Right. The good seed, hey, would be the children of Israel. All right. The tare, hey, is Esau, Edom. All right. Here it is. Hey, this devil is trying to do any and everything to try to gain favor. All right. He figured, hey, we look like him. Maybe we can blend in and get the blessing.
Like the one lady who he did the reverse. Most of you niggas like to bleach yourself and go lighter. Found a way to get darker.
Oh, you talking about yeah.
A couple of years, like 6 years ago, whatever.
Nah, you can't tell
She
her.
identified. She was the first one to identify.
She was serious too. You can't tell her nothing. You can't tell her she ain't so called. You die woman.
But she was in
And she was in the NAACP.
Right.
She was in everything.
I'm gonna look it up.
All right, she was everything. All right. Okay.
Verse 25, verse 26. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also.
Yep.
Verse 27. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then had it tares? 28. He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? 29. But he said, Nay, lest while we gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them.
Right. So here it is. Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, they use horticulture, all right, for a parable. All right. He said, you know what? It's already the seed is already mingled amongst them. Go ahead and let them grow up together. Let them go ahead and mingle together and grow up together. And this is what I'm going to do. Go ahead.
Verse 30. Let both grow together until the harvest.
Until the harvest. Until the time, until the time of harvest. What is the harvest? To pluck up. It's ready. That season is right. It is now fully matured. So now it's time, to partake of it. It's time to gather together all that which is ripe and ready. Okay, go ahead.
And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, Go ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them.
Right. Now Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai says, now go get those tares. All right? Being that I didn't want you to root up my little ones, I didn't want you to lead them astray. I didn't want them to go off anymore. I wanted them, to find me. All right? Because this is a parable. I wanted them to have me. Now, you see those tares? Bind them together. Push them out the way. Get them out of my house. Take them from my field. As you take them from my field, bind them up. Bind them up. Put them together. Put them in a bundle. Round them up. Okay?
Yeah, and those reapers of being the angels.
Yep.
And it says, But gather the wheat into my barn.
You know, hey, that's the Israelites. You know, in this time, it's going to be the elect of Israel. You had it in Ezekiel the 9th chapter, where those angels put a mark upon the elect. Those that were to be untouched in that time of destruction. The barn can represent a chariot, safe haven.
That's where you store everything after the harvest. Store it in the barn. Right?
Matthew 13 and 31. Another parable putting forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field. 32, which indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs, and becometh a tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches thereof.
That's exactly what Yahweh Shemiah is going to do to the nation of Israel. All right? Especially his elect first and foremost. As Yahweh Shai, hey, is that first. Who's that first mustard? He's the first of all things. Okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. That lady name was Rachel Dolezal, and this article from New York Times. I didn't know she was. This is back in 2018.
Yeah.
She was charged with welfare fraud. So she was really trying. She changed her name to something crazy. I was trying to pronounce it. I was like Nikechi Amari Diallo. Falsifying records, fraud, perjury. But she was dealing with NAACP president in Spokane, Washington.
Okay,
There was a.
yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. She said she was just being me.
Right.
I was just being me.
She would have did it. They would have found out a couple of years later. Hey, it was just she was just identifying him.
Well, that's what she said. She identifies as a black woman. So
She got too early though.
she had the braids. You almost got away with it.
Isaiah 19, it says, the burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh Ba'azim Yahushai rideth up a swift cloud, and shall come unto Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
Right. Hey, this is what's about to take place before Moses. How about Shemi Al-Shai is about to turn this bitch right side up. Because right now it's upside down. All right? Al-Shai is going to come in on that swift cloud, that chariot, all right, that father ship, what some people call a UFA, a UFO, or a UAP. All right? It's identified. The scriptures identified. All right? Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, hey, revealed the mysteries unto his servants, the prophets. It's giving you clear indication of what's to come. Because this is modern day Egypt, modern day Babylon, modern day Rome 2.0, here on the shores of America. All right? Sodom and Gomorrah. All right? All our captivity is in one. All right? Doesn't Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai say in the book of Baruch, chapter 3, hey, chapter 4, ye are yet this day in the captivity, subject unto payment. All right? In the land of thy captivity, in chapter 3, in the land of thy captivity they shall remember my name. We are remembering the name of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai. Because Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai woke up out of the Bible. All right? And to give us, to bind the Old Testament and the New Testament together so that the truth may have the light shine upon it. That we now can start receiving and giving an acceptable sacrifice. You see, before then, there was no acceptable sacrifice really given. It was not warranted. It was not worthy at that time. But now Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, after he woke out of living, all right, did what? He allowed us to have that acceptable sacrifice. All right, and it's like similar to Moses in the bush. All right, hey, this word is burning.
Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai has consuming fire, right?
Right, so now this word is out. It can't go back in. You can't. It's not a genie lamp. You can't say get back in the bottle, get back in the box. It's a jack in the box.
It's not a bounce check.
Right, it's not a bounce check. The word of Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai, hey, popped up and now it's showing everybody. It's showing itself to be faithful, true, honest, just, strong, without blameless. All right? This is the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You could take it and think it's lighthearted, or you could take it to your heart and not think lightly of it.
Bitter and sweet.
All right.
Verse 2, it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, what you're seeing that today. You know, you're seeing that right now. Look what's going in the White House. Look, Trump and Elon. They having problems.
There's issues, but we know that, hey, that could be left up as a psyop. Yeah, it could be
Staged.
a staged situation that it, oh look, we told him, because Giga's already said, well, hey, we told him. Now what is Elon want to do? We want to help the Democrats.
Yeah. Now, no, we switch sides.
Okay?
Same bird, right? Different wings, same damn bird.
Right?
Ain't shit.
It's just a different feather.
Yeah, let me jump on this side.
I'm gonna jump on this feather right here, right? Like a parasite.
And he chose the other horn, you know. As a revelation, you know, they describe this, you know, a lamb that's fake as a dragon. You got them two horns, you know, one being the right and then the left. All right, the Republicans and the Democrats.
Same thing.
Continue. It says, and they shall fight one another against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom.
Right, and this is what you're starting to see. You're starting to see families come at odds. All right? You got those who are standing 10 toes down, and you got those who are rooting and running away, running to the other side. All right? What that have the cares of this life and who are only concerned about what life can bring them. All right? This life. We're walking the way of Esau, Edom.
Jake loves it. Jake loves it.
All right?
And the spirit of Egypt shall fall in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek the idols and the charmers, and to them that have spirits, and to the wizards.
Right. And this is exactly what this devil is getting on a higher vibration. New levels, new devils. Right? And this devil is casting and doing things that they more frequently, so they can try to amplify the wickedness. All right? Not only from their laws, not only from their all this whoredoms and sorceries and everything, and making lower levels warlocks and witches. All right? Bringing more and adding more onto their covenant. All right? The wicked covenant. Stern.
Yeah, they hit that again.
Yeah. Hey, playing with magic. All right? Playing with technology to perform magic.
Yeah, they're really tapping into shit that they don't know what they're truly doing. You know?
All right? Using
That's
this
it.
sorcery and this AI and this intelligence, this artificial intelligence, as if it is sound law.
That's part of the boundaries that the Lord set on the wicked. You know, it says in a couple of places, but Job 14th chapter and the 5th verse, you know, he put bounds on them that they cannot pass. You know, so once they get so far, you know, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua gonna strike them down. They wickedness, but on the other side, their wickedness has to reach that point.
Right.
All right, their wickedness has to come to a climax before it drops.
It's like that perfect.
You know, it got to hit the peak, and then it's gonna, you know, crash. And then it's gonna crash. It's, you know, I beheld Satan falling as lightning. You know, that's the kingdom of or queendom of Esau, Edom. You know, under this beast this beast system. I had a precept of it. Let's jump into Isaiah the 47th chapter and the 12th verse. It says, "Stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou, if so be thou shalt be able to profit. If so be thou mayest prevail." You know, hey, since this is what you guys did with your hands and your works, hey, even the wicked of our people that joined unto them. You know, now when shit start going bad, hey, you know, you stay right by the you know, you go lay with the bed that you made.
Right? Don't continue to cast your spells and everything.
Yeah, continue to get jabbed up. You know, for these new plagues. You know, go and get that micro C hit, since it's not the MOTB.
You should be able to catch it.
Right, so you can survive, since that's what's gonna you know, help you prevail. Okay, it says, "Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counselors. Let now the astrologer, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee." So since you trusted in them, you know, let them deliver you.
All your left-hand sided priests and warlocks and witches and priestesses and whatever.
Getting attacked.
From the spiritual cooking lady.
I think it was just
Alex
a flower or
Alex-
something.
Like,
It was just like a flower.
Yeah.
Get it off me.
All the stuff that they do, right? That sorcery, they from food to their television to everything, to their clothing, the whole 9 yards, to the music, right? All these enchantments that they have been doing, they are only gonna magnify
Yeah.
that frequency.
Yeah, and the works that Esau is putting out, those are the same works that you know, really gonna kick his own ass.
Right?
You know,
Kicking my own ass.
he's a you know, he's self-destructing.
Right.
You know, himself, just like, you know, AI for the example. You know, even though he has a game plan of what he thinks he's gonna do, is not what the Most High is gonna allow to happen.
Right. The devil said it's for what? For the great and good.
And the expense that, you know, AI tripping out and, you know, overpowering humans is way, you know, more likely to happen than them being able to control it.
kicking their ass, killing them too.
Elon Musk already said it. He already told you we're summoning a demon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Just think
years
of it.
ago he said.
We're summoning a demon, and I fear that we're not. Once we let it out of the box, we're not going to be able to put it back.
That's his word.
You know? Just as you had, because you know, with this whole movement of transhumanism, and, you know, pretty much just going into the evolvement of the MOTB, that hey, you had that movie Upgrade where, you know, it took over his mind. Well, you see, you know, Elon tweaking out. You know, he be tweaking. You know, even though they might blame it on drugs or whatever. I believe he already got the C hip. You know, he was, you know, one of the first to take the Neuralink. After them, I believe he already got it. You know, I'm not saying I'm right, but I believe that's how he's also made himself that, you know, that smart. They say he don't sleep. You know, yeah, he's trying to, you know, make himself superhuman.
It's that one with Lucy.
Lucy, yeah, like Lucy. You know, so.
And Isaiah 19:4, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of the cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, said Yahweh.
The fierce king is, you know, should be Trump. You know,
Who has done it like Trump this far and today? Who has done it like Trump?
yeah,
Who's pushing the agenda 2025?
yeah, did that, you know, who put all them expedited, I forgot the exact name, you know,
The executive order.
those executive orders, the water,
This has been his plan since his first time.
you know, falling right in line with prophecy. He just had to take 4 years off for them to get, you know, their shit together.
Right. Prosecutors.
And we can't do that right now. And what's gonna happen? You know, they could honestly, you know, bring back them charges on them, and now you have you know, in the eyes of the world, a criminal as you're running the United States of America.
Criminal has always been.
Right. But now publicly
Yeah, publicly.
named.
But here it is. This with this executive order, the way that the structure is set up, like I said in the chat, how the chick put the Agenda 2025 in chat GPT, and it broke it all down. Basically, everything that he's trying to do and everything that he's succeeding at, hey, is dismantling this whole democracy in the republic.
Mhm.
Right? All for what? A tyrannical government.
Yeah, the draconian measure. Revelation 12 and 12.
Exactly. Everything is set up for really, hey, as the deep state.
Yeah, and that's Yahweh Bashimi Al Shai doing that because, hey, if you read that verse again, that's Yahweh Bashimi Al Shai allowing that to happen. Doesn't he say that he rules in the right? Well, that goes into it too. I'll grab that. Yeah.
Because Isaiah 19:4 again, it says, "And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a good Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them," said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh.
King, hey, you see exactly what he's doing. Hey, you were made to suffer. All right, Israel, you were made to suffer at this point in time. Because we're still in our captivity. This isn't supposed to be extra beneficial for you.
Saying living your best life.
All right. You're supposed to find a way to maneuver through the will and power of Yahweh in this system.
But Blake want to be a part of the system, you know, because he wants to keep up with the Joneses.
All right. You got to preach.
Yes, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 8, starting at verse 19. It says, and not that only, but who was also chosen the churches to travail with us with this grace, which is administered by us to the glory of the same Lord, in declaration of your ready mind.
Ready mind. Yahweh, hey, said Yahweh Shai, prepare us, get us ready. He had his disciples to get us ready. Return unto a ready mind, ready to serve, ready to pray, ready to follow after the law, statutes, and commandments that are set forth for his nation first and foremost. Right? But then ready to put all others in subjection unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai's law of his will. Right? And his will is his law to be decreed as he has said it to. Right?
Verse 20, avoiding this, that no man should blame us in the abundance which is administered by us.
Right, so this is administered by us, all right, and it was administered by, hey, Yahweh Shai, it was administered by the apostles, and to today, hey, the prophets and the apostles and the elders, all right, who have the word, who have the testament, all right, glorifying and magnifying the word of Yahweh Shai to bring more understanding, all right, to give you clear, cut, unadulterated doctrine, the good news, the gospel of Yahweh Shem Yahushai and the testimony thereof. All right?
Verse 21, providing for honest things, not only in the sight of the Lord, but in the sight of men.
Right. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai set his prophets up. They've been here since the beginning. All right? Not only in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right, as the angels bear witness to him of men's works. All right? It is the angels who take everything and report it back unto Yahweh by Shemel Shai.
10,000 better than the sun.
10,000 times better than the sun.
So, you know, angels are all over. They can be physical, they can be small, you don't know.
Right.
When Yahweh Shemel Shai together.
No, nevertheless, it's still in their account. It is a witness of. All right? So know what Yahweh Shemel Shai has. All right? He has his word about you in his gift. He said you should see his teachers and they shall not be removed anymore. All right? In this day and this time, there's no longer any reason to hide the teachers because we are at the end. Before that, preservation, preserving those teachers, keeping them back, keeping them quiet, having their tongue cling unto the tops of our mouths, not being heard and not being seen, only have that faith that was high in us, but not having the words spoken out so freely and so true. All right? Not being on the highways and byways. This is an old custom made anew. The Yahweh Hashem Yahushua 40 plus years has had his men out on the highways and byways.
Still going to the day.
Right. This wasn't happening in slavery. All right. This wasn't happening in the 30s, in the 40s, in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s. All right. It began in the 80s. Really, 79 and 80. This word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Semio Indians, as well as you speckled birds whose feathers line close back. That you could receive the doctrine and the truth and understand the love and the mercy and the grace, and the fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, first and foremost. You got to pray.
I was backtracking. We could just move on.
Back on 5, Isaiah 19 and 5, it says, and the waters shall fall from the sea, and the rivers shall be wasted and dried up, and they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defense shall be empty and dried up, and the reeds and the flag shall wither. The paper reeds by the brook, and by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sowed by the brook shall wither, be driven away, and be no more.
How about you know, hey, about to turn this thing right side up once again. This devil is performing to do all the things to take away the nation of Israel. Try to take away the nation of Israel. Try to take away the blessing.
You're teaching God the master trying to do it. In his mind, I got you. But you don't got shit. Verse 8, it says, the fishers also should mourn, and they that cast angle unto the bricks shall limit, and they shall spread nets unto the waters shall languish.
How about Shemi Al-Shai said, I'll make you a fisherman of fish. All right, hey, but here, Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai has us fishing now, even though this is talking about the
Famine? What? Well, there's gonna be nothing to be caught. All right.
The profession is useless. That's what I was trying to say.
Everything is coming to an end in this place. It's being dried up, rooted out.
Because the time of Jacob's trouble, Yahweh Shemi Al-Shai is making all these things happen. He's making all of these things. The stage has gradually been set each year. 40 years plus, the stage has been set. For the grand finale. This is a must-see event, a must-experience event. All right? You're either going to see it in the spiritual world, all right, or you're going to see it firsthand and live it. Everybody is going to know about the deliverance of the children of Israel yet again.
Every eye gonna see it. Everybody gonna see it.
Right? And then guess what? The deliverance is going to be that greater than what? Than the heart of the covenant. Noah's Ark.
Yeah, it's gonna. That was a great deliverance, but this deliverance is gonna overshadow that other side. That deliverance. It's gonna be a scene that you ain't never seen before. So-called UFOs, beaming up so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. This can't be. Not them. There's no way. Oh, it's a way.
Way to see how much you outside. All right? How Shai said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. No man come up unto the Father but through me. All right? And he said, the only ones that can come are the elect of the nation of Israel. Because it was given to no other whose salvation was for. Who Mashiach came from. Romans 9. All right? Read through, continue. All right? Gives you the whole account. Make sure that you understand where there's no discrepancy. Hey, read it in the NLT, read it in the NIV, then go back and research the words that you just read. Clearly states it. But accountability, that accountability thing, gets in the way again. Accountability.
They worst nightmare.
Right.
Accountability. For that Christmas, verse 9. Moreover, they that work in fine rags, and they that weave network shall be confounded, and they shall be broken into the purpose thereof. All that make and ponds for fish.
Thermonuclear plant. ICPS. Alright? There will be no bottle cap, no soil, no sand, no concrete, no plastic, not a hair tie. Alright? Not an old decrepit shit. Alright? How much outside is gonna do away with this shit?
We do take it serious, flush it down the drain. And don't hope to never ever see it again. That's what's about to happen to the swords of the hammer.
There ain't gonna be no claw. Toilets. Alright?
You don't need no plunge.
Right? All this shit is gonna be burnt up. It's gonna start here first. Then Yahweh Shai is gonna make sure, hey, this is the homeland. Alright? Yeah. Fertile crescent. Alright? That is restored. But think, all this fucked up fabric and plastic around the world and everything, while those other nations are picking up those bodies, pick up that piece of trash too. Right? Pick that up, throw it in there, throw it in the fire, clean that shit up, get it out of here. All this shit. Alright? 1,000 years. It's gonna take 1,000 years to get rid of all this abominable shit. It's not that long to Yahweh Shai. But a day.
Oh no, it is.
Alright? It's a day. So if it's nothing to Yahweh Shai, that means the nation of Israel lives after Yahweh Shai, so it ain't nothing but a day, some light work. Right? Clean this shit up, get it together. And after 1,000 years, hey, Esau, Edom will be done away with, but guess what? The other nations you'll have your home. All right, we'll send you back to your land.
That's what Proverbs 29:2 comes from.
Right.
You'll be rejoicing in that day.
Because you don't have to deal with the abominable
said, surely the prince of John are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is because very rich. British.
Hey, British. Fools are beasts. Right? In other words, British.
Let me grab it in the blue letter I had and bring nothing up on the dictionary. You were in verse 11. Yeah. It's the war H1197, and it's to burn, consume. It says to burn, consume, kindle, be kindled, to begin to burn, be burning, to consume, destroy. That's a stupid. Yeah, I don't know. That was a to be stupid. Dropping down, it says to be stupid, brutish, barbarous, dull-hearted, unreceptive. But it's like beast-like, you know. Let me look up what, because it goes in the brute. No, that's what it goes back to. Large, strong, often cruel. This is just from the AI overview. Animal or rough, violent, and insensitive person. Savage.
Ways of Pharaoh is after savage. Right? Brutish beast. Right? Savage. No law. Right?
How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wife, and the son of the ancient king? Where are thou? Where are thou, wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know that Yahweh Bashim of hosts hath proposed upon Egypt.
Coming against it. Right? He's coming against the system that Esau Edom has set up. Right? Because this is modern day Egypt. Bondage, captivity. Right? Sodom and Gomorrah, Rome 2.0. All right? Hey. And how Bashim Yahushai is not for this place. He continues to show. How Bashim Yahushai, hey, get sick of this stuff. All right?
Verse 14. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man strangling in his vomit.
And that's exactly what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai gave this perverse spirit.
I say staggering.
Staggering? Staggering. The water.
That perverse spirit, hey, it is given not only for a perverse spirit of pride, all right, because the devil, you know, hey, he's prideful, all right?
Yeah, this is the month of pride too.
Yeah. thinking that he'll prevail. All right, and that he could get the blessing back, and that he's going to measure, that he's going to measure the
stars, stars of
measure
heaven
the
and
depth
the ocean.
depth of the ocean. All right, he thinks he's going to perform. He's getting high, right? Because he finds a technology that can go just a little bit farther. Right? That satellite is still going, it's still measuring. And that bitch is going to keep on measuring until the Most High, hey, brings it back to them. Why is he getting close? Right?
It says, neither shall there be any work of Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do.
Right. Yeah, how about you, y'all try to clean all this shit up? No, nothing is going to continue of Esau, Edom, of these other nations, hey, to put Jacob in subjection, to stop the kingdom of heaven. Right? Nothing is going, not the head, not the tail. Nothing's going to be able to prevail against Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All the works that this devil is doing and all the toys, the beautiful toys, all right, that you have, Esau, all right, is going to be to no avail.
In that day shall Egypt be like unto a woman, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh, which he shooken over it.
Right? Hey, to be afraid like a woman. Be afraid like a woman, like that. Read that again. Hey, this is hey. Think of the 50s and 60s movies that you see with the guy with the white beard. Go ahead.
Isaiah 13 and 16. And that day shall Egypt be like unto a woman, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh.
Bitch, I wish you would.
Host.
I wish you would. It's that hand, it's that right hand coming down. All right? That bitch.
Laying a smack down.
All right?
Yeah. People's champions coming. Rock. Not Dwayne Johnson. Yahweh God.
Right? Hey, Black Snake Moan. All right? If you ever seen that movie. All right? Hey. Look at it from a spiritual aspect. That Yahweh is releasing his right hand to whoop. All right? To whoop the nation of Esau, Edom. All right? The right hand is now going to whoop Esau, Edom's ass. And these other nations. Why? Because you didn't show your ass and acted up. Right. Ass whooping is well overdue.
Yeah.
Well,
it's coming. You can't run from it.
right.
It's coming.
Long overdue. This is what Yahweh Shai is about to do to Egypt, modern day Egypt, modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, modern day Rome 2.0, here on the shores of America. All right, and abroad. Okay? It's like you have multiple siblings and one tried to run off.
Yeah, all your counterparts are getting which he shaken over it. And the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt.
Oh, that's what y'all fear. That's what the fear is.
Yeah.
That's what you're starting to see. That's why these laws are being set into place. You see what's happening in LA.
The two thirds is going crazy.
All right? You see what's happening in LA. Hey, and that's just the northern. It's really just a lot of the northern kingdom.
But this says Judah.
All right? This northern kingdom is rousing up a little bit. Say, hey, man, what the hell? All right?
Put them back.
All right? What the hell are you doing? All right, here it is. Hey, we do the jobs that you don't want to do, and it's not good enough. Now you're starting to realize, hey, you like us. All right? You so-called Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, all right, you like us. All right, because you are us. You are counterparts of the nation of Israel. All right? From the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, and Seminole Indian, as well as the speckled bird whose father's line goes back. You belong to us. We belong to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So all that hatred that you have right now, that evil eye, some of you are going to turn that evil eye from your brother. All right? It's not a problem. If you want my sister, here she is, take her.
It's going to be like when the video we saw yesterday out of Modelo Negro time. Right? The both two sticks come together as one. The northern and the southern coming together.
Right.
That's what they fear. They fear that both times. Because we're coming together in the name of Yahweh Shemiyah.
This is detrimental to them. Hey, spiritually, physically, and mentally.
They put it in the movie.
Right? Why do you think they're always afraid? Why do you think that they put a pale face, all right, a pale face and a smile on who they call Jesus Christ? All right, I've never seen a Jesus Christ with anger. I always see him with a smile and loving and having his hands wide open, hands on
Everybody knows.
yeah, everybody is welcome. He always has a smile.
Yeah.
All right, there is no ass flipping or correction given. Oh, I just accept you as you are.
It goes back to the video we saw earlier when like Jake slapped the shit out of Esau woman, and then Edomite caveman,
Right.
bombed him, and then he got slapped up, and then he said, "I love you" after he got the chest tied.
Right.
Switched up real quick.
Well, he felt that power.
He did.
He said, "I love you."
I love you. He was like,
When he was on the ground.
just a minute ago.
But that was just him trying to,
Speak smooth.
well, that was him trying to,
Calm that rap down.
right, not get the rest of that punishment. Not to not to receive the rest of that ass whooping he was getting, or he was about to get. Yeah, he called him yeah, he called him the N-word, and then, Brad slapped his
With the
woman.
right hand, he did everything with the right hand.
Yeah.
All punches, right hand out.
Yeah, slapped the woman like he said he was gonna do, and then, because bro said he was gonna kill him, and then he punched bro out. Then Esau got on it, was on the ground, said, "I love you."
I got to see that.
Stupid.
When he goes in with this, though,
And I'm going to say my right hand.
yeah, his right hand, he slapped them both up with the right hand, left. All right hand smacked up. That's stupid, man. Again, Isaiah 19 and 17. And the land of Judah should be a terror unto Egypt. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid. And so,
Hey, right, because Judah really two-thirds of the nation of Israel, all right, especially Judah, so-called Negro, all right, is a terror, all right, hey, got people scared, got people shook. Everything that they do, these YEs, all right, they ain't got no order. They only believe in discipline, all right, they're John 8:44. But why you mad, E? This is what you designed them to be.
there was a video of a rapper saying that. He said, why is it that the white so-called white man get mad when we're doing? You're the one that did it. Let us beat us. Let us kill and do chaos. Let us do what we want to do.
Purge.
That's what they
I want to purge.
That's what they're saying. They want to do it.
All right? Why? Because you designed them to do it. All right? You designed them to do that very thing. But on the back end, you didn't tell them, we're going to have you do this so we can get rid of you and make money off you and define your nation, blame, to put blame on your whole nation. All right? So we can say that you're the problem.
All we can cover up.
All right? We're just going to do this. It's going to make you a lot of money. You'll be good for a couple of years. And then we're going to go ahead and get rid of you and put another in your place. Why don't you tell them the whole plan? All right? Why? Because on the left-hand side, you don't let with your right hand. You don't know what your left is doing. Right.
Because of the counsel of Yahweh. I'm going to read back at the top. Isaiah 19 and 17. In the land of Judah to be a terror of Egypt, everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because the counsel of Yahweh of hosts, which he hath
Determined.
against it. In that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan, and swear unto Yahweh of hosts, one to be called the city of destruction.
Right. hey, destruction is not. Destruction is on the doorstep. It's knocking right now. It's just knocking right now. It's knocking. But now it's turning from a knock to a slight until it's going to be soon to break the door, to break the hinges off this thing. All right? Destruction, chaos, and disorder is going to come. Why? Because this devil is about chaos and disorder.
And that's how you get down.
All right? So he can provide that solution.
The solution of him creating the chaos and then make it look like he got the antidote to cure the chaos which the motherfucker created. Right. And still don't have no cure to help the chaos what he created. This is a fucking shit.
Bunch of lies and deceit.
And walking fucking virus.
This man has continued the ability for Israel to go off, to find Israel's lane full. All right, to be able to be accused of God's will. All right? This is why Yahweh Shai is going to do away with this.
Verse 19. That day shall there be an altar to Yahweh Shem Shai in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar of the border thereof to Yahweh Shem Shai.
This is the altar. All right, Babylon the Great, a.k.a. Sodom and Gomorrah, a.k.a. Rome, a.k.a. Egypt, here on the shores of America. This is the altar. As there is an acceptable sacrifice unto Yahweh Shem Shai upon this altar. All right, Yahweh Shem Shai said, hey, make your body a living sacrifice. All right, a living, acceptable sacrifice unto him. As we walk about on this altar, it's one big altar. This whole United States is one big altar. All right? What's going to be found acceptable and not acceptable? Put on the altar. Right? Because that is abominable still gets burnt up. All right?
What a sacrifice.
Right. And hey, the acceptable sacrifice that is given was a delight in the Most High's nostrils. All right, that delight, that savory smell. All right, in essence, we are that savory smell going up to Yahweh Shem Shai.
Yeah. But that wickedness being burnt, that's going to be a savory smell to the Most High.
Right. It's just that it's finally done with.
Both of them. And
right?
Both nonsense.
Hey, that pure smell of correction. All right? The righteous returning unto being righteous. All right? The defiled and disgusting and abominable being done away with.
Verse 20. And it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto Yahweh Shem Shai host in the land of Egypt. For they shall cry unto Yahweh Shem Shai because of the oppressors, and he shall send them a savior.
Right. And that's what we're doing now. We're crying unto Yahweh Shem Shai. Yahweh Shai came in the flesh, all right? Who the world English calls Jesus Christ. All right, he came in the flesh to bring back his elect. Right, to call and to spread the good news. All right, that everything of Yahweh Shem Shai must be performed, and that acceptable sacrifice, and that righteous sacrifice, and that the elect he's brought back by his blood. All right, through his sacrifice, that we are able to obtain salvation, grace, and mercy from Yahweh Shem Shai. That's what it was for. Now we're crying and calling out unto him, saying, Father, where is thy son? Father, send Yahweh Shai, please. All right? Send the deliverance of the nation of Israel. Lord willing, we be of that number. All right? Please send the deliverance. Please help us out of this hell. We can't make it out here without you. All right? Give us what's sufficient for us to have. Let us continue in the way, the truth, and the light of you, Yahweh Shem Shai. If we are to fight, let us keep fighting. All right? Until you send Yahweh Shai, because we know not the day or the time. Okay? You got a break?
This is the book of Lamentations. It's chapter 1, verse 17. And it says, Zion spreadeth forth her hands, and there is none to comfort her. The Lord, Yahweh hath commanded concerning Jacob that his adversaries should be round about him. Jerusalem is as a menstruous woman among them.
Right. Okay. Dirty and filthy. All right? A menstruous woman is unclean. All right? She's unclean, righteously unclean for the time being. All right? But on that 8th day, right, she can come back into the house. On that 8th day, she can now be amongst the congregation. All right? And hey, Israel, like I said, is as a menstruous woman. We are unclean right now. All right? And we're calling and crying out to Yahweh Shem Yahushua that we are cleaned up. All right? That we are cleaned up, that He cleaned us up. That we obtain salvation only through Him. By no other way can we receive salvation. That's what the scriptures tell us. That's what we believe and we understand. You see, we know the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua stands faithful and it stands true. There's no wavering in the scriptures.
Lamentations chapter 1, verse 18. The Lord is righteous, for I have rebelled against His commandment. Hear, I pray you, O people, and behold my sorrow. My virgins and my young men are gone into captivity.
Right. As we went into captivity, Yahweh Shem Yahushua will deliver us out of this captivity. It was through Him that we went into the captivity. It was through Him, hey, that Israel was scattered as the sand of the sea. All right? His heritage became as unto a speckled bird unto us. All right? Put here, put there, put here, put there. All right? For more reasons than the average person can understand. Hey, for the hiding of His nation, so that the seed would always be His. All right, but at the same time, that it could be a shame unto you. The seed could be preserved because people believe what they see. All right, and you understand. If you understand, hey, that's the same thing as a woman. All right, women have to more so believe. They have to see it before they believe. All right, that's why the world follows after women. The way of this world is a feminine spirit. You have to see everything. If I don't see it, it ain't in front of me. All right? You have no faith. Yahweh Shem Yahushua provides faith to men. All right? True faith. It lies in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You don't have to see it. All right? You see it in the vision. All right, when these words are spoken, it is a vision. You have to be a visionary. That's what you see. You see the vision of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You see how righteous it is. You see how magnificent and glorious it's going to be. At the same token, same time, Yahweh Shem Yahushua says, eyes have not heard, or ears have not heard, and eyes have not seen. All right? But it's still the ability to have indication of man, the imagination of man. I know I got this feeling that this waterfall, hey, there's going to be a waterfall, and it's just going to be the perfect temple.
It's always keeping our mind.
It's just,
Like, that kingdom mindset.
right.
You know, to do a true kingdom. You know, what Yahweh Shem Yahushua created. To really take in what He created that's good for us.
Right.
And we can connect it.
I see this guy right here. Hey, man, this tree right here, it's going to be so full. All right? I'm not going to stand on this concrete. Feet are going to be in the sand, in the soil.
The grass is appearing.
All right? Hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to give His men, His nation, the ability to hear the earth. All right? You're going to be able to hear and understand what the earth is saying. All right? The earth is going to thank you during its harvest, and the earth is going to thank you during its rest. Because we're all going to thank Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The earth is going to say, thank you for kicking his ass. Thank you for kicking her ass for what they have done unto me. From the drilling,
The air.
from the air, from the water. Thank you. The people are back in rule. The earth is rejoicing. You don't think Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to let us hear that type of magnificent, magnificent, all right, glorious praise that he hears?
Animals, insects.
Right. We're going to be praising him. So how much more? How much more is it something to fight for?
Lamentations chapter 1, verse 19. It says, I called for my lovers, but they deceived me. My priests and my elders gave up the spirit in the city, while they sought their meat to relieve their souls.
Right. Hey, that which Israel did at that particular time, right, brought the shame upon us. That shame is upon us now. It is upon us now. That's why we're here on the altar, crying and asking Yahweh Shem Yahushai for forgiveness. All right? Hey, crying out to Yahweh Shem Yahushai that he take this sin away from us. All right?
It's being picked.
Right. Pick me. Bitch, if you don't want to be a pick me, then stay behind. All right? Don't get left. You should be crying, hoping, praying for Yahweh Shem Yahushai's mercy and his grace.
And that you don't get burnt along the rest of this trash and not in that altar.
Right.
Verse 20, it says, Behold, O Lord, for I am in distress. My bowels are troubled, my heart is turned within me, for I have grievously rebelled. Abroad the sword bereaveth, at home there is as death.
Right. And that death, all right? That death, hey, is going to come. So the death is going to come to those who don't have the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Ones that keep on following after the way of the world.
Back on Isaiah 19 and 20. It says, and it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai of hosts in the land of Egypt. For they shall cry unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai because of the oppressors, and he shall send them a Savior and a great one, and he shall deliver them. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall be known to Egypt and to the Egyptians, shall know that the day of Yahweh, and the Egyptians shall know the Yahweh Shem Yahushai in that day, and shall do sacrifice and
Oblation. Oblation.
Yea, they shall vow a vow unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai and perform it. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall smite Egypt, he shall smite and heal it, and they shall return even to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and he shall be entreated of them and shall heal them.
Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to do it. Brothers and Zuckerberg, whose father's line goes back. All right, he's going to deliver you. Hey, it's going to be a deliverance one of two ways. All right, either you're going to be delivered unto salvation, all right, and receive that new body, a new heart, a new mind, only thinking after Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right, that fleshly heart, all right, or you're going to be delivered unto what? Destruction, thermonuclear fire, nothing, all right, and to be taken out so that you can be delivered, your spirit can go back unto the Father, all right, and be renewed and be refreshed and then be born through the loins of the elect.
Come back in your right state of mind.
All right, come back in your right state of mind and only be in shame for this short time. Okay? Recognizing and understanding where you went wrong. Okay? Yahweh Shem Yahushai is merciful, gracious, and just in all his doings. And his chastisements, and in his reward. It is a blessing. So Israel, you have a responsibility and a job. It is above all other jobs. And it's not even a job. I take that back. You have a way of life. This is your heritage. Okay?
What? Yep. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. Yo, this Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be deleted.
Right. And here you're seeing the image of the beast is becoming even more apparent. Right? It's MOTD. All right. Hey, it's speaking loud and clear. You have transhumanism. You have digital tattoos. You have Neuralink. You have the neural web. You have nanobots. All kinds of stuff. All right. But the RFID to see him. All right. Is that which goes in the right hand on the sword. All right. It doesn't matter if it could be the right hand, left hand, butt cheek, foot. It doesn't matter. All right.
You got a body they can put it in.
And you take it, and you're a part of this devil. That means you're a part of this devil system. Who has set Esau and Edom up as your God?
Yep.
You said, I want to follow the world more than I want to follow the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
You fear the man that can destroy your flesh, but not the power that can destroy your soul and body in hell, in scripture. So you fear this man instead of fearing the true power. Who created this man? Crazy. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in the right hand or in their forehead.
Right? To receive a charagma in their right hand or their forehead. All right? Hey, not wanting to take heed, all right, to, hey, the law, statutes, and commandments that have been set up for you. Not wanting to take heed to the prophets who are out on the highways and byways, hey, revealing the good news of the gospel, telling you that the RFID, see him, is an MOTD. All right? That Neuralink and neural web and all that blockchain and everything is going to lead to this point where you're not going to be able to buy and sell unless you have this device, unless you are on one accord with this man. All right? This man is about to launch his digital system. All right? I think it's July 14th, the banks start to transfer over, and it's September. Hey, and now they're accepting everything. Yeah, they're accepting your crypto. So how much closer are we? All right?
Glorious time.
We understand there's gradualism, but eventually gradualism gets faster.
Yeah, gradually. It usually goes into, the thing that is moving forward to.
Right.
As it says in Habakkuk, though it tarry, will not tarry.
Right.
Eventually something's going to gradually, progress into what it was intended to be made for.
Right. There's a point where it has to switch. It has to. Because we're at that point. It says, okay, now we've gotten to this point where the digital system is switched to taking away the penny. Okay, that one's done. The nickel and the dime. Okay, now take away the cash. Okay, now we have ATM cards and everything can sit right here for a second. Okay, switch, and now it's the MOTD. Why? Because you're already used to getting tap and pay.
They've been already programming.
Use your phone. So now when there's no more cash, there's no more in hand, oh, let me get that change, I got the exact change. You're always going to have exact change. It's always going to make sure that you have exactly enough. All right? Exactly enough, because if you don't have enough, you're not going to be able to get it. All right? You're only going to be able to purchase what they allow you to purchase. You're going to live after the way of your father, the devil. What he wants you to have. What he wants you to do.
And that no man might borrow so, save he that hath the charagma or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
You won't be able to buy or sell. Doesn't matter if you're rich. Doesn't matter if you're poor. Right? Eventually, this promissory note, all right, this IOU that says, oh, you know, I got X amount of dollars, all right, this paper fiat currency is not going to be accepted.
So all that blue thing is going to turn digital paper.
All right?
All that rapping about their presidents is going to have to be digital now.
Hey, this devil has told you he's preparing you for it. Why? Because he has to have some of you to get on to accept it and push it.
Because he knows, you know, Jake is the former of all things. So if Drake make it hot, everybody going to think it's hot.
All right? Put it across the board, it doesn't matter. You're going to get your flavor. You only want the Michael Jordan brand, there it is. There you go. All right?
Yeah, how it came out, you know, a couple weeks ago that, you know, Apple now with that Synchron,
Yeah.
you know, which I believe that's funded by Jeff Bezos and Kill. Yeah.
Here it is. Hey, we're getting everything together. Right before your eyes. But it's June. Ain't no Michael. Ain't no Michael here. All right? You got to pray.
Yeah, this is the book of John, St. John chapter 6, starting at verse 32. And it says, Then Yahushua said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. 33, For the bread of the power is he which cometh down from heaven, and giveth life unto the world.
That light hey, was Yahushua. All right? And he gave the word unto his servants, the prophets, so that you would be able to understand, so that you would be able to hear. You have eyes to see, you will see. You have ears to hear, that you will listen. It is that Yahushua dwells in. He dwells in righteousness and glory and power, understanding and wisdom, and fear. You should fear Yahushua. You should take heed to the words that are spoken by his servants. But if you don't, it's ultimately to your own demise. Okay? That was it.
This verse 34. Then said they unto him, Lord, forevermore, give us this bread. 35. And Yahushua said unto them, I am the bread of life.
Right. That bread, this word, Yahushua is the bread of life. The word that you have pulled unto is giving you everything right here to understand. He's putting in out on the highways and byways, starting with our head apostle, Apostle Bar, Apostle Tom, Apostle Rama, the elders and the bishops, all the way down to the newest brother teaching 100% sound doctrine. Every man in their measure that Yahushua has bestowed upon us, so that you could obtain the word. All right?
Revelation 16 and 2. And the first went and poured out his veil upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sword upon the men, which had the mark, which had the charagma of the beast, and upon them which worship his image.
Right. If you take this MOTD, all right, know that Yahweh Shai says, oh, you chose him? You worship him? That's your boy? That's your guy? That's your God? You chose him? You chose him over me? No problem.
But
No problem. Keep that same energy when I come. Keep that same energy.
well, at that time it's gonna be, you know, so quick. They're gonna see it real soon.
Yeah.
You know, because after the MOT, you know, gets in that hour of temptation, hey, the moose gonna come shortly after.
And you're going to, scripture say you're going to run around trying to seek death, and you're not going to find it. And how much Shimei Shai going to preserve you?
That go back into those enchantments that Isaiah 47 chapter that we read earlier. Now stand by that sea hip.
Yep.
What's the sea hip gonna help you? You know, when that actual famine, you know, is there. You still gonna have to eat your kids. You still gonna have to do these, you know, be a part of the plagues that come to Egypt, you know. So his devices ain't gonna deliver you at the end of the day. But hey, since you want to think you got it figured out, go for it.
It's better when we saw Edom than it is.
Yeah, tangible. Yeah, that just means you wasn't predestinated, you know. It's cool.
Now we're going to go ahead and face the east. Give all honor, glory, and praise unto
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash.
Have all honor to our apostles and elders, the great millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening, learn the values of God the house of David. Till this next time, it's menofvalor12LV, Las Vegas, Kansas, and
Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Wa Ba Ba.
It got stuck to my lips.